a subject has come up that I would like to address with... Everyone's going to have a different view on shamanism, and the training that I have received is Peruvian archetype shamanic healing. And I work with the Peruvian archetypal energies and use their words to call them in and meet the keepers of their worlds in the lower world, the middle world, the upper world. And for me, the Peruvians have kept those energies alive, and they answer to those words. And it took me years and years and years to build up a relationship with this energy, so that it's almost like it took me through initiations. One of my initiations, I thought I was going to die. They were very challenging initiations, and over time it's become like a language that I've learnt, and now have such a strong connection with these energies that I can, like you would an indigenous shaman, travel the worlds, talk to these energies. I can have a relationship with the metaphysical, and one that I'm sure about. It started off me hoping that I would have a connection. Then the more I did the work, I started to have faith in my connection, because what other people were saying and what I was getting really was aligned, it was accurate. Everything that everyone was saying, all of my clients, made so much sense. They were like, oh yes, and that's really helpful, and everything aligned. The faith, then the more I worked, it grew into a knowing. And now I know, as much as I know that my name is Claire in this physical life, this relationship with these energies and my abilities to move in the metaphysical realm. It is like a language that you would still be learning. So you were learning a foreign language. For the first bit of learning, you get your book out, and it's you just studying between you and the textbook, and that's as far as it goes. Then when you learn a certain amount of the language, then you start to try and have a conversation with somebody else. And you know enough words, but you don't know all of the words to be able to get by. And then some of them you say, well, I don't quite understand that, or I need to look this up. But you're getting a little bit better. And then when you get even better at the language, you can then really learn on the job that you know enough of the language to start asking questions, to inquire, oh, what does that mean? And then you're being almost taught experientially in the language, because you know enough to be able to talk back and really find out. But do you know every single word in that language? No. I would say I've been speaking English all my life. I don't even know every single word there is in the English language. So for me, I'll always be learning like a language, how to talk to the metaphysical and travel the worlds, and it will be an ongoing process for me the entire time. But I'm aware that some people might think, well, hold on, she's not Peruvian. And to be a Peruvian shamaness, you better either be in Peru or go and live in Peru with a tribe. Otherwise, you don't get that honour almost. And for me, it's very important that I do claim this shamaness, because I have earned it, and I have earned this relationship with these energies, and they have chosen me almost. They talk back, they don't have to, and I don't think they would to everybody. So I don't think that anybody has a right to tell you if you can or if you can't. It's the energy in the metaphysical world that you have a relationship with that gets to decide whether it works with you or not. And in terms of keeping a lineage to a certain place, I feel that that's very old paradigm of I'm an individual. This is the way I am. Yeah. I've got to be really careful about what I say because I don't want to. I think this is going to trigger some people. I think it's going to piss some people off. But for me, we are one. So it's not English, Peruvian. They're my brothers and sisters. We are all one as a human race. And collectively, Carl Jung's collective consciousness, we are evolving and awakening as a collective consciousness together. There is no divide between cultures, races. Oh, you're from England, so you can only do Celtic work. You can only go up and maybe do Scottish shamanism. Or you need to do the dragon lines in Wales and stay on your own land and stay in your own country. Because that's very kind of us and you, and we are separate, we are divided. And I get that archetype exists because we as a human race are still fighting over land, fighting over countries, fighting over airspace, because we are under the illusion that we are separate selves. So we are fighting for ownership of something. And for me, that is the last thing that is true for shamanism. And what the Kairos do understand is that we are one. And that's why they have given their written permission for this work that they've carried the lineage of to be passed into England to wonderful little white girls like me, to learn and connect, because they totally understand that it isn't kept for them. And if they keep it for them, they're doing the whole of humanity a disservice by passing it on to those that are ready and can do the work. We all get to up level and awaken as a collective, move away from this separate self paradigm and move into togetherness. And I think really important that almost I'm a permission slip to maybe other English girls or other girls that aren't Peruvian to go, well, yeah, I feel really a pull for this work and this shamanism. So I would say learn it, because you can do magical things, and you will find out on your journey if you spend 2-3 years and you find really this is too much, this isn't for me, you will know that experientially for yourself. And that's the most important thing, that we find our truth through our own experiences. Don't let anybody else tell you, because of their limited beliefs and understanding, that you can't do something because you're not of that culture. Because we all get to share everybody's wisdom and grow together as one. Species, one enlightened species that we are. There's that beautiful, beautiful story that just brings me to tears of the group of little boys in Ghana. And I don't know if this is just a metaphor or a story, or it really happened. I think it did, because there's pictures actually on the internet. This really happened. Unless someone photoshopped the pictures. Anyway, so white Western man goes in with lots of toys, banquet of food, loads and loads and loads of stuff for the little kids, and decides to do a little experiment, puts it on one side and moves all the kids in a line and says, okay, so you're going to have a race. Whoever gets there first gets first choice and gets all the stuff. So they line them all up and go, 1, 2, 3, go. and none of them run anywhere. God, gets me every time. Just thinking about it. They all join hands, look at each other, smile, and run together as one to go and see what's there and discover this prize and this fruit, all as a community together. And they got asked, well, why didn't you want it? Why didn't you want to race? Why didn't you want to go and get it on your own? And they said, but if there's a winner, then there's got to be somebody that loses and maybe gets nothing. And if my brother's unhappy, then I'm unhappy. Nobody wins. And it is such a profound message for the world, because if the entire world could behave like those 6-year-old boys in Ghana, then we would be an awakened species. Everyone joining hands, knowing that we are a collective and working together for the same goal. All everyone wants to do is help each other evolve, grow. And the more that we help our brothers and sisters, the more we are helping ourselves, because there is no separateness. It does not exist. And thank you for listening. And I hope that touched you as well. Love you, Chai.